I think that the noise of the world distracts so many people from the kindness and the joy and the peace that they have the ability to create because they cannot hear or see the love that comes from within. To be able to quiet your mind, from what I've learned in my own experience, is the ability to see what is causing the noise in the first place. Um, I think that the society we live in, specifically here in the United States of America, has this idea of what life is supposed to look like. There's many reasons why it is so hard for people to quiet their minds and be able to hear the love and the guidance that comes from our own hearts and souls. And it's because of the way that we live. Now, again, I'm only going to speak on my own experience here in the United States of America, and I'm sure this applies to other parts of the world as well, but it also doesn't apply to other parts of the world. In other societies and cultures, it's easy and comprehensible, and you can apply this knowledge of living alongside love, living alongside the spirit world, I think, and not in a strange way. And what I mean by spirit world is the energetic world. We focus so heavily on the 3D that we don't take care of our soul needs, our spirit needs, right? So here in the United States, it's very easy to get caught up in the physical world and what it is that to create for yourself. Some of the reasons why I think that quieting your mind is so difficult for so many people is because of the many distractions that we have in our 3D world. Things like phones, cities, violence, distractions. Like, you see so much violence in the news, you see so much pain, you see sorrow, and you open your phone and you're just bombarded by these horribly negative things and these terrible events that have happened, and it takes a toll on what you perceive the world to be. I think we see this a lot in older people when they are scared of the world, or they're like, be careful out there. Side note, I used to DoorDash, and when I was DoorDashing, I delivered to this old lady one time, and I assume she lived alone. She may have lived with somebody else, but she, like, very carefully opened the door, and she was like, you'd be so safe out there. You'd be so safe out in the world. It's such a dangerous world. And it is. There's no denying that there's danger everywhere. But this focus and this, it's almost like a funnel. A lot of our news outlets here in the United States are like funnels. They're like, what are the most negative, overwhelming, nervous system disrupting negative things we can show the people and show the masses? It's like, yes, these are real things that are happening and they cannot be denied. But there is no balance between the negativity and the positivity, and it makes us believe that our world is this very scary place that we have no control over, and that just could not be further from the truth. So society has such a focus on noise, and again, when I say society, I mean American society. There is such a heavy focus on outside of ourselves, what's going on in the outside world, comparing ourselves, social media. It all keeps us from looking at ourselves and being like, I'm fine where I am. It's okay to be where I'm at in life, or there are positive things that can happen, because we are being so bombarded with so much negativity at all times. The way that society has been formulated, in my own experience, is it's hardwired our brains and our nervous systems to anticipate negativity, to anticipate bad things to happen. I think that's all we see in the forms of media that we consume. Sadness and anger, sorrow and grief, those are loud emotions, right? Love is soft and it's quiet and it moves with ease. It does not remove how powerful love is, but it moves quietly. Sadness and pain move in a very loud way. They manifest themselves in a very it clouds your judgment, is essentially what I'm trying to say. You're either out living your life and you're trying to create exciting moments, you're trying to have memories and you're trying to have fun, or you're sitting at home and you're on your phone scrolling through other people who are putting up, a front, because we all know social media is fake and not everybody's lives are exactly how they seem online. And so you're sitting there on your phone and you're scrolling, you're like, well, my life is not like these people's lives. My life doesn't have as much stuff going on. And you get this idea that there's something wrong with the way that you're living, and that's just not true. It's easy for our minds to get caught up in sadness. It's easy for our minds to get caught up in longing feelings. A lot of these emotions are also emotions that are like seeking for something. They're loud and they're distracting because they distract you from the fact that you already have the love within you. You already have the ability to create what it is that you want to create within you. But you don't realize that, because these sad emotions that are being cultivated from comparisons to other people's lives have you thinking that you need to keep going to get something. This sadness will go away if you get this thing. You'll be happy if you reach this place. And that's not true. I think it's so important for content creators like myself, and really anybody who seeks to live a life that's way more in alignment with love and with the health of their soul, to post content like this, because it shows you that your life does not have to be what you think it has to be. Your life doesn't have to be what society is telling you it has to be, or specifically social media. We can talk about it. Let's talk about it. It's like, at least in my own experience, if I wasn't making efforts or making strides to go after something or to create something, then I was anticipating that something bad was happening. When in reality, it's just not the case. It's not the case at all. You can live a slow and very peaceful life and still reach your goals. It doesn't mean that you can't work. You're not going to have to work hard. You're not going to have to put in effort. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you don't have to create from this space of, I don't have this, I'm not good enough, so I'm going to grind until I can have it, until I am good enough. Again, this idea that completion is outside of ourselves. It's not somewhere you have to go to reach. It's already in our hearts. So a lot of our nervous systems are heightened. We have a lot of anxiety as a society and as individual people too, because our nervous systems are anticipating bad things to happen, right? We think we're not where we need to be in our lives. We think we don't already have the love that we deserve, right? And then we're seeing in the news and we're seeing in all these media outlets that so many bad things are happening in this world. So much negativity, so many wars and famines and horrible things that do not need to be ignored, do not need to be, cast to the side. But you also have to balance this understanding of there are negative things that are happening in the world, but positive things are happening as well. The negativity never takes from the positivity. There has to be a duality in things, and there has to be a duality in the way that you see the world as well as yourself. Oh my goodness, loud ass train. I've been wanting to ride a train. I think I might take a vacation somewhere and take a train. But again, we live in such a fast-paced society, and again, I'm speaking on America alone because that's all that I've experienced. I've visited other countries, but I've never lived in another country for an extended period of time, which is something that I would love to do. But we live in such a fast-paced society that rewards instant gratification. It rewards this idea that as soon as you get a certain idea and you take a few steps towards it, boom, you're a millionaire. You see those YouTube videos all the time. It's like, quick steps to become this, or like day trading, or just anything. Like, you can go online right now and look up ways to make money online, and there are hundreds, thousands, if not millions of videos about how to quickly make money, how to quickly reach your goals, how to quickly do this or quickly do that. And see, the fast-paced aspect of our goals and our dreams, it's what keeps us from relaxing. It's what keeps us from seeing the love and the peace that is already around us, right? It's already there. It's just very hard when our society is so formulated on instant gratification. Something that also plays a role in that instant gratification is the comparison of our lives to others' lives. I touched on this a little bit in what I was talking about earlier, or just like a few seconds ago. We compare ourselves so much to other people that we don't see that we have everything that we need to create the life that we want. Our minds are too loud. Your mind, the mind will play tricks on you. It really, really will. Comparison to others makes us believe that we're not where we need to be, and we're kind of always where we need to be. But again, this quick, fast-paced society, one thing I've noticed with myself in comparison is that social media also makes it seem like the things that we want to achieve are going to be like easy, super easy. It's supposed to be a challenge. I think chasing after your dreams is supposed to be a challenge because you're supposed to be learning things along the way. It's not just, I have this dream, I'm going to do this one step, I'm going to achieve my dream, and I'm going to just enjoy my dream. No, the dream is actually the healing, the love that comes along the journey of you reaching your goals. You're so distracted by our outside world that our internal world has no ability to even flourish. It has no ability to even feel safe because we don't give it the chance to, because we don't know we can. We don't know that we can. So that's what I really wanted to talk about in this video. I mean, I'm pretty far into the video now, but yeah, that's the topic. Something that I think plays a very, very, very big role in the switching of a distracted mind to a quiet mind is trauma. And now trauma can go super deep. It cannot be that. It could be more surface level trauma. It can be very deep trauma. It could have trauma you've carried from lifetimes and lifetimes. Unfortunately, for many of us, trauma has laid the foundations of how we see ourselves and how we see this world. We expect to see sadness when sadness is all that we've ever known, right? You only can see what you know. If you don't know something, if you're not aware of the existence of something, you're not going to see it because you're unaware of it, especially in the society we live in. It's like hand in hand. Trauma and our fast paced, distractive society go hand in hand in keeping us away from our divinity, keeping us away from the love that flows through us. And the answers and knowing who we are is what it keeps us away from. You can only see what you look for, right? And if all you've ever seen your entire life is a certain way of living or certain experiences, all you're ever going to move through the world and see is those same experiences, those same pains, right? What is it? It's called like confirmation bias, where the ego believes something and it looks for facts to validate what it believes. If all you've ever known is sadness, if all you've ever known is pain, you're going to move through the world only ever seeing and looking for sadness and more pain because that's all you've experienced. So, in order to quiet your mind, it's essential that you're able to, first of all, remove all the distractions. I think solitude is a very beautiful thing. Of course, you don't want to isolate yourself forever because having social interactions is a good thing. You should have friends, and everyone deserves friends. And if you don't feel like you have a good friend group, you just have not found the right people yet. That's it. Not that they don't exist, not that you don't deserve to have friends. You do. You just haven't found your group yet. I promise you. Right? But solitude is super important when it comes to figuring out what your heart wants and figuring out the direction that you want to go in life. Because if you haven't noticed, most of the things that I've covered in this video about quieting your mind, or the distractions that keep us from quieting our mind, have been external. They've been the world, the violence that we see out in the world. They've been the judgments from others, the social media. It's all things that are outside of ourselves. So I think it's important to have times of solitude, to have periods of time where you're not really speaking to many people and you're just alone and you're in your own space and you're not beating yourself up. But if you notice that your mind is wanting to be negative while you're alone, then you gotta start writing things out. We gotta start journaling and start moving towards healing. The sun is gone. Taking time to remove the outside world from yourself is super important in coming back home to your heart and quieting your mind. The first step is going to be isolate yourself for a little bit. Maybe like a day or two. Nobody's saying go isolate out in the woods somewhere for a couple of months. But like take a day, take 2-3 days where you're just with yourself. Maybe you go to the park by yourself or you go on a little vacation by yourself. But removing yourself from society allows you to see how loud society really is and what it's done to your mind's own ability to calm itself. Right? So once you've removed those external distractions, then you're able to sit with yourself, and then you're able to question where a lot of your beliefs have come from. Like a lot of the things that you believe about yourself, or that you believe about the world, or that you've been told, the ways that you've been treated will also affect the way that you treat yourself. It shouldn't, but it does when we're unaware of it. So in my own experience, the inability to quiet the mind is one of the biggest things that I think keeps many people from coming home to themselves, from finding connection with yourself. That's kind of what I wanted to share. I kind of just wanted to, I don't really know. I think that sometimes I try and I want to make sure that I know what every single video that I make is about and what I talk about, and I have a flow to things. But sometimes I just want to talk about random topics. And I guess today's topic was quieting the mind. And these are some things that I found to be the reasons why I struggle to quiet my mind. So I hope this video could help anybody out there in discovering what it is that's kind of keeping them from peace, or keeping them from the ability to actually connect with themselves and connect with what their heart actually wants, and not what other people want for them. I hope that this video could help you to highlight some things in your own life that are keeping your mind from being quiet or keeping your mind from being at peace. But these are just some things that have helped me. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, you don't know how much that means to me. I appreciate you so much. And sending love to wherever you are in this beautiful world. And yeah, again, I hope this video was super helpful. All of my socials will be linked down below, and they will also be in my bio. If you haven't checked out any of my other videos, please make sure to check those out. I think they can be very helpful to people. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Much love. Peace.